Chris, it's really good to see you. Today, we are breaking down 5 reasons why everybody should consider a Roth conversion right now. You and I have talked many times before about the importance of tax diversification, and Roth accounts are one of the best for tax-free earnings growth. So the first reason to consider one today, we are living in a historically low tax rate.
Yeah, we certainly are. And when we help coach our clients on Roth IRA conversions, it's making sure that we max out the 12% income tax bracket because the next one above that is 22%. And,
Mhm.
it's a very favorable tax environment right now, Erin.
Right. And let's take a quick look at the history, look back at US marginal tax rates. It could be much worse, Chris.
Oh, it certainly could. Yeah, they were as high as 70% in my
Wow.
lifetime. And now they're, 37% is the top income tax rates. And they're talking about raising those even a little bit more here with some of the Medicare discussions that have gone on here recently. But now would certainly be a good opportunity to look at what your potential is to take advantage of these low tax rates and leave a nice, sum of money that's income tax free. It's hard to beat the rate of 0.
Right, exactly. All right, the next point is everybody's depreciated portfolio. This is the silver lining to us having a smaller balance right now. Convert that smaller balance and then allow the growth to happen tax-free.
Yeah, certainly. When the market does take those nosedives, if you will, that's a good time to slide those assets into a Roth IRA because you're paying less tax and then you let them grow on the recovery aspect. And, when we normally do a Roth IRA conversion, it might be done later in the year when people know how much income they've had. But when the stock market does take a dive with volatility, that's also when we want to consider it, regardless of the time of year.
Mhm. And then our next point here is the possible elimination of backdoor Roths. This is essentially a strategy for those high income earners who can't contribute directly to a Roth. But Congress every now and then does talk about getting rid of that strategy. So do we do it now before it's on the chopping block again?
Yeah, and that's certainly something to consider because it almost was taken away from us.
Right.
And, the backdoor Roth is just simply you can put money into an IRA account that is non-deductible and then you can convert it. So, for most people earning, I think the income threshold is right around $200,000, a married couple. You cannot contribute to a Roth IRA, but you can contribute to a non-deductible IRA and convert it to a Roth. So I always like to say this, Erin, not everybody can contribute, but anybody can convert.
Yes. Yeah. Great point. All right. Our next point here is about legacy planning. Congress eliminated the lifetime stretch IRA rules, which essentially eliminated the option to pass along generational wealth. However, assets in Roths are not subject to probate and they can be passed on to your heirs tax free.
Yeah, and that's the best way to do it because if your children are, in a higher income tax bracket because of the careers that they've chosen, do we have the parents or the grandparents pull money out of their IRAs, convert to Roth IRAs at their lower tax rate to potentially pass on to their children who may be in a higher income tax rate? It's about winning the game, in the fourth quarter versus leading the game at halftime, I
Right.
guess.
Right. And then our last point, this is another really attractive option for Roths. They have no required minimum distributions.
Sure. And, as legislation changes, right now it's very favorable. We do not have required minimum distributions on Roth IRAs, which would be income tax free anyway. And who knows if they will include Roth IRA distributions to determine Medicare premiums and whatnot down the road. But for right now, that's another benefit. No forced mandatory distributions.
Right. Well said, Chris. I think that it really does help to talk this through, especially as we talk about the timeliness of some of these issues. So, Chris, if somebody has questions about anything we've covered, what's the best way to reach you?
A best way to reach us to have a discussion on this is give Heidi a call at 866-695-2620. And this is a very individualized discussion that we have based on the asset base, the income, the age of people, because you cannot convert your required minimum distributions into Roth IRAs.
Right. Certainly no cookie cutter answers here. Definitely worth a discussion. Chris, thank you very much.
Hey, my pleasure, Erin. Thanks, everybody.
Tune into Chris McIntire's full radio program and visit McIntireRetirementServices.com for many additional valuable resources, including other great episodes of Game Plan for Retirement with Chris McIntire. Be sure to subscribe.